welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Wisemen Say Podcast, powered by Yama Media. Ty Fisher alongside Jerald Lucas. Nice hawk.
Thanks.
Nice hawk. Tell me about that.
So I made a bet with someone.
Yourself?
No, I made a bet with someone prior to the playoffs.
Okay.
That if Columbus won the cup, I would get a mohawk.
Okay.
I knew I was going to end up having to get it.
Mm-hmm.
A small piece of me didn't want to, just because of professionalism.
Bets. I mean, dude.
Yeah, but a bet is a bet, and I kept my word.
A bet's a bet.
Now some of our fans out there want me to dye it black and gold.
I don't think you can do that.
That's what I said too.
But you said professionalism. What do you mean? Like, dude, I've been to games where I had my hair pulled back.
Well, it's not in the press box wise.
Okay.
It's at Huntington. So, around,
Yeah. Like CEO.
Yeah.
Not.
And so, I mean, having it just, it was like, okay, well, you know what? They're going to have to accept it. So.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And they see me come in there with all the, my crew gear on. And
yeah.
Buckeye stuff and, my Punisher.
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
No, but it's pretty cool. Now it's,
starting to grow on you.
It is. The hard part is to spike it.
Yeah, I bet. Happy New Year, first of all. First episode of the new year. As we promised, we are going to do way more video series podcasts for you guys. So this is the first of many.
Yeah,
I would say. Not too much on the docket today, obviously. Just a lot of transfer talk. And just we got a couple questions from you guys today, the day of the recording. And we'll get to those. But the first things first, a big name joining MLS is Hugo. Actually, no, two big names joining MLS that we didn't even touch on. Luis Suarez joining Inter Miami with Messi, Busquets, and Alba. And Hugo Lloris joining LAFC.
I mean, it's just the Inter Miami Barcelona, right?
Mm-hmm. Neymar's probably going to be next sometime down the road.
Well, I mean, we had hints of it last season when Messi came.
Mm-hmm.
Is Suarez coming? Is Suarez coming? No, they waited till this, the winter window, and then it happened, right? It doesn't faze me.
It doesn't.
It's just another name that Beckham was able to, get Don to say, well, make a pass for us on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I will say that with Messi being in MLS, I like it because it has driven sales. It has driven viewership, to MLS. And now you're looking at some of these players that are coming in. You're talking about Hugo. I'm not about to butcher his last name, but the
Hugo Lloris?
Yeah. The keeper coming into, over to LAFC.
Yep.
That's going to be an interesting one, especially with, Crepeau there.
That all signs point to Crepeau leaving. He was out of contract. So I don't think LAFC signing Lloris means Crepeau's going to stay. Obviously, Lloris is going to be the number one.
Yeah.
Which means Crepeau's gone. They've already got rid of McCarthy. He's joined LA Galaxy. Crepeau's gone. So I would see him leaving if he's not left already. Hugo Lloris is going to be the number one. Crepeau's too good to be a bench. Be a bench rider.
So I mean, those are two of the big names that came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love it for the league that European players are looking at MLS now.
Yeah. Got Emmanuel Boateng, former Columbus Crew midfielder, re-signing with New England Revolution, rejoining Caleb Porter.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he was actually going to leave because all signs were pointing to him leaving.
Yeah.
But when you sign Porter, that has a a winning track record.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want, Crew fans, about him. He has a winning track record. You know, championships at Akron, championships in Portland, a championship and a Campionis Cup here in Columbus.
Yeah.
That I think that offseason might have given him, you know, not coaching last year, given him a chance to look at MLS and see that his system doesn't work anymore. You know, that he needs to evolve. And even if he doesn't evolve his system, the players that they have out there in New England, you know, Gustavo Bau,
He's gone.
he's gone. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Gustavo Bo's gone. Carly Seal's still there.
so you got Carlos, you have, you know, so you know, I think you have Wood still there.
Bobby Wood. I think Bobby Wood's still there.
All right, so you got him, you got Boateng now. There's news coming out of New England's camp today that Tom Bogart broke. Porter's picking up Mensa.
I was going to touch on that next. But,
Oh.
yeah.
So, I mean, you add him to Boateng, you know, and
Mhm.
Heel. You know, now they're a threat. Not
Wow.
a threat like that, but they're a little bit, you know, better than last year.
They were good last year.
They were good.
They just got, I think, with them, the whole thing with Bruce Arena kind of just shat on them, right? Because you think about the impact Bruce Arena has had on that team for quite some time now. I think the whole Bruce Arena thing just was too much of a obstacle to overcome.
and that they gave up the, you know, they
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah, they made the playoffs. Though they got beat in 2 games, they made the playoffs. But the whole Bruce Arena thing is just too much of an obstacle to overcome, and I think that's what killed them. Because if I remember correctly, they were fighting for a top 5 spot. They were fighting.
They were second, and
Yeah,
you know, coming into late August,
yeah,
September.
yeah, and then that happens, and then they start falling, not getting results. Somehow, some way, squeak into the playoffs to face off against Philly. But it's just, in order to keep consistency, you know, I think the Bruce Arena thing could have been done in the offseason
Yeah.
because they were good.
You know, maybe kept him, you know, suspended for the rest of the season. You know, and also too, they did like what, a midseason keeper change or so, or something like that,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Georgi Petrovic went
Yeah.
to Chelsea.
Which is weird. Like, why do that in the middle of the season when you know, when he's been good to you so far?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so that was also a downfall there with, you know, with them. So I mean, it's just, you know,
We have Brandon Vasquez finalizing a deal to Monterrey in Mexico. A good get for Monterrey. Brandon Vasquez is probably one of the most underrated strikers in the league, I'd say.
yes,
I think he kind of fell off a little bit from 20. What was that?
22.
Was it 22?
yeah,
From 22 to this year, I think he kind of fell off a little bit. Not because you think about it, last year he was a constant goal scorer, and this year he was, you know, contributing, but he wasn't getting the goals.
I think it was more or less he tried. So being out there with the men's national team, right? You know, he would score goals for them, but he was more of a contributor. You know, you have Christian Pulisic. You know,
Mhm.
everybody knows, feed him the ball and, you know, watch his feet work magic. So you got Brandon Vasquez that takes that and sees somebody like Lucho Acosta, and I don't know if it was a decision on his part, or if it was Pat Noonan's decision of, look, everything's gonna run through Lucho this year instead of coming your way first. It's gonna run through Lucho, right? Which I think is it shouldn't have happened like that, because how are you gonna limit Vasquez? You know, this is huge though for Cincinnati. Selling Vasquez to CF Monterey.
Mm-hmm.
I joked about it with somebody on the way over here. This has, losing him, you're putting a big hole into your team. He's much more than just, a men's national player. He's just more than, a goal scorer. He does more than what people, pay attention to on that field. And when we're up in the press box, we could see it. How he's able to slip through channels.
Yep.
Or take on two defenders to open up, like, Dominic Abaji. Things like that. So he's able to take those two defenders. You're losing that type of a player. I hope you bring your wooden spoons out so you can eat on your supporter shield.
Staying on the topic of FC Cincinnati, they just get center back Miles Robinson from Atlanta United. That's a solid get for them at center back. Obviously, with the departure of Yerser Mascara, possibly going back to Wolves. He was on loan to Cincinnati. Loan was up at the new year. Haven't heard anything from them about officially signing Mascara. But I think with this addition of Miles Robinson, I think that
the writing's on the wall.
I think Mascara's gone. I think he's gone back to Wolves.
Unless we wait to hear what the final word is from MLS on Miazga.
What do you mean?
About the refs.
He's suspended.
Well, I mean, he's still suspended right now, but are they going to do more?
No.
They're not going to throw in?
No, they won't. They won't. He's just, I think, one?
He has 2 more games.
2 more games?
Yeah, 2 more games. Which I don't feel.
No, it's 1 game. It's 1 game. It happened after New York. He missed Philly. He missed Columbus. He got 3 games. He misses the opener. He misses the season opener.
Which I think it should be more, but I think the pro actually needs to put their foot down about it. Like, yes, we're protective of players and things like that, but who's protecting the refs?
To be the league.
Then it needs to be more than 3 games to let players know, like, this is not 3 games is a slap on the wrist with a ruler. You know what I'm saying? So it needed to be more. Because then now anybody
how many more?
I mean, it could have been at least 6.
That's reaching. But
I mean, you got to take a look at Matt Miazga though. I don't know. It's just me, because I mean, you don't want people, attacking the players, but it's okay for players to go after the refs in the locker room.
Is this a crew fan in you talking, or is this like? I think it's a crew fan in you talking.
No.
I think 3 is probably the best option they could have gone for, because you look at it this way: if they go 6, if they even as go as 10, right, then the narrative is out that the league is only attacking Cincinnati, is only attacking Matt Miazga. If anybody else does this and they get a lesser suspension, then that extends the narrative.
Well, so I mean, but at the same time, you need to have that mark of, we're not putting up with this. So okay, so 3 games for Miazga, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else does it on a different team, and something actually happens in that locker room, right?
I think here's the thing, right? And I've talked to a couple people from Cincinnati about this. What we saw on the internet is not the true story. The thing that I've been told from multiple people in Cincinnati is that yes, he did go to the ref's locker room, but he didn't barge in. He didn't run in. He just walked there and along the lines of, I just want to talk to them, and whatnot. I think people are taking him going to the locker room and putting this picture of him running in there, barging down the door and whatnot, and verbally attacking the refs, when that's not with a pizza box in it. With a pizza box. I can just see it now. After the game, Matt Meow's running with a pizza box.
But I mean, who's to say that, okay, if he didn't go in there, right, he opened up the door. He didn't barge in. He just opened. Right?
I don't even think he opened the door. I think he was just in the general area of the locker room. Because I've been in the area of the locker room, right? Especially at lower.com. I've been in that area. I don't ever want to be in that area again because, golly, I think I was more nervous about that because it was after that shitty-ass New York City game. And I'm like, what the fuck? But the area of the locker room, it's at lower.com, is only protected by one security guard. Is only one CSC guy. Now, I don't know how it is at Red Bull Arena, but I think if the layout is similar to lower.com, then he probably didn't make it to the door. He probably made it to about 10 feet from the door and just was talking about, hey, I just want to, hey, finish your drinks before you come in here. No, I'm literally just talking shit now.
I know.
But he made it to the area. He just made it to the general area and was like, hey, I just want to talk,
But I don't think it was, hey, I want to talk.
I don't think it was, hey, I want to talk. I'm just trying to, I don't think it was, hey, I want to talk. I think it was more so, I want to talk to them, I think he was just voicing his frustration. But him being in the general area is what I think gave him the 3 games. Now, if, say, he did break into the locker room, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did bust down the door and, confront the referees. By all means, I'm with you on 6. I'm possibly going as far as 10.
And that's what I'm getting at. Like, we don't know the whole story behind it. If he actually did get into the locker room,
he didn't.
So
I'm pretty confident with the people I talked to. I'm pretty confident that what they told me is true, that he didn't get in. But if he did,
if there were, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other, right? So we really don't know except for that security guard.
If they're even, I would assume there's a CSC guy there.
I mean, but it's New York, so there's has to be at least 1 or 2.
Jersey. It's Jersey.
Yeah,
Jersey.
But you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
The truth hasn't came out really. You know what I'm saying? If there somehow, some way is video proof that he did go into the locker room, right? Then 3-game suspension is a slap on the wrist. And it's showing that players can do this. Players could go, they could go here.
Yeah.
Which we all know players are not allowed, neither are coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are not allowed in that area. So I just think, and with Miazga's attitude and everything, I can see him, walking. I can see him going up there, right? He might have had the pizza box, eating it after the game.
I think it was like when they were on their way to the bus.
And him sitting there breaking away and going over there and, using some colorful language. You could paint a Bob Ross painting with his language. And I don't think that, it caught the ref's attention. If he didn't go in there and they came to the door and they're asking him to leave and he doesn't leave and he has to be pulled away.
I think it has to go. I don't think I don't think he actually got to be face to face with
the ref,
with Victor Rivas. I think it was, in my opinion, in my best estimate, I think it's the pro liaison. The designated liaison for Red Bull Arena to, take the refs around and etc.
Yeah, so I mean it's just crazy. But losing Vasquez for them, I think signing Miles Robinson, I don't see Cincinnati, being able to, repeat as Supporter Shield winners. I don't see it. Mm-hmm. You lost a big hole. You did shore up your back line with Miles Robinson. I just think it wasn't a good fit for him in Atlanta. Coming up here, in the northern area, I think, under Pat Noonan, he'll be a little bit better than he was down there with the Five Stripes. No offense, Scarves and Stripes friends. I just don't think that he worked well in Pineda's system.
I don't think anybody works well in Pineda's system, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what it is, but Pineda is just, he's not very lethal with the way that he approaches games.
Yeah, I mean, you got Yakimakis and Almada. That should have been,
I'm surprised Almada's not even gone yet. Because he has interest from a lot of places.
I think he's sorting through where he wants to go. You know what I'm saying?
Who's the best deal?
Who's go that? But that's what I'm. He's getting constant deals. From teams over in Europe, right? That it just keeps topping. Mm-hmm. So he might be getting ready to sign. Sign on that dotted line, and oh wait, here's this offer. Hold on, well, let me look at this contract terms. You know what I'm saying? So he's just going to have to cut it off at a point and then go over the offers he has and figure out which one he wants to do.
Yeah. Portland Timbers transfer Jimmy Chara to Junior FC. I think that's in Colombia. Can't really remember. Yep. Colombian top flight side, Junior FC. Damn. I like the Chara twins. They're good.
Yeah, but this goes to show it's a rebuild, right?
Yeah.
Getting rid of the Savarese era, and it's time to bring in a new era.
Phil Neville.
Which, don't get me wrong, Neville, he had his good he had some good games.
Okay, I was gonna say.
He had some good games, don't get me wrong, right?
He did.
Now let's see what he can do without a owner like Beckham. You know what I'm saying?
Who actually just got new owners today. The Portland Timbers and Portland Thorns just got new ownership today.
So
about goddamn time.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Let's see how he works with new ownership. Are you going to listen to me when I say I need these type of players? Or is it, hey, we're getting this player, deal with it?
Yeah.
And I think that's what Beckham down there in Inter Miami said, hey, well, we're getting this guy. Figure it out.
I don't see that's going to be the big. See, I'm not looking forward to Miami coming here because all the media is going to be here.
I'm not getting pushed out of the press box again. I'll tell you that.
You not got pushed out of the. What are you talking about? Pushed out of the press box.
MLS Cup. I had to sit on the balcony.
Oh, I was in the press box. It was fun.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I did love the balcony because I got to be with the fans and get the
You
experience.
you had. Well, I mean, they eventually did open the windows in the press box, but you were like out there.
Yeah. Like the smell of the sulfur from the smoke bombs and the rain coming through the rafters, and you know what I'm saying, being able to walk out to the corner of the balcony area and seeing the the skyline and things like that. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I would love to sit out there all season.
You might just be out there from Miami, I'll tell you that.
Hey, October 5th on a Wednesday, go ahead.
No, it is a Wednesday game, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Austin FC signed goalkeeper Stefan Cleveland from Seattle Sounders. Solid, I guess. I don't know. Just solid, I guess. I mean, good keeper, young, but
they have too much going on because they don't know where Daniel Pereira is going to be. There's so many teams. There's a few teams that are in talks to get Daniel Pereira from Austin.
Yeah.
And Columbus is one of them.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to Columbus, I think he who shall not be named, Precourt, Lord Voldemort. I think when it comes to when he sees Columbus is calling to inquire about him, I think he has is telling Columbus one price, but
probably
telling everybody else a different one.
Probably, I wouldn't put it past him.
So I mean, I would love to see Pereira up here because he is a good fit in Nancy's system, and he's also a good player.
Fair.
Which, if I'm correct, he plays on the wings.
I have no idea. I could care less about Austin FC, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, but the player.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why I don't eat broccoli, anyways.
I don't either. I hate it. It's so nasty.
But I think he does play wing, so it might be something that Columbus is, starting to steam up.
Real Salt Lake captain Damir Kreilach parts ways after 6 seasons, heading to the Vancouver Whitecaps.
That's a shocker.
I think that's a shock to everybody. He's put in so much with this club.
He's been there for the downs
and the ups. Some of the ups.
Some of the ups, yeah.
For sure. Some of the ups, yes. I'm excited to see how he does in Vancouver, but I got a feel from our RSL peeps.
I do too, because they came out after they got blown out the water by us.
Yeah.
Right. And then they got Diego Luna, right? He came back because I think he was hurt when Columbus played him. Then they went out and got what's his name that played for LAFC and was loaned out, and then
who is this?
RSL got somebody that played for LAFC on the championship team, then was loaned out to a Mexican team, and he signed with RSL at the transfer window last year.
Is it from LAFC?
No, he didn't. He came. He was bought by RSL from the Mexican team. Oh. I'll be able to tell you here in a second. Chicho.
Oh, Chicho Arango.
Yes. And
I thought that was this year.
Yes, 2023. We're in 2024 right now, so. But in 2022.
Yeah, I'm still referring to 23 season as this year.
So 2022, he was with LAFC.
Yeah, then went to
down and then
came back to
at the transfer window, which was huge for Real, right?
Yep.
for ourselves. So losing, it's Krylock, it's huge.
Tom Bogert, 21 minutes ago. Danish club AC Horsens finalizing a deal to sign forward Simon Beecher from the Whitecaps. Fee in the region of 400,000. Whitecaps keep sell-on percentage. 24. Beecher, 24, had 6 goals, 2 assists, and about 700 minutes in all comps last season.
I mean, it's Vancouver's going through a rebuild himself.
Yeah.
Wasn't there another one from Portland that's departing?
Evander.
Well, where did Ladero?
My friend, I promise you, you better be lucky we're not in the Pacific Northwest. Because Ladero played for Seattle. You are lucky we are not in the Pacific Northwest. Timbers fans would come for your head. Because Ladero played for Seattle. And Seattle, Ladero went to Orlando.
That's huge.
They haven't even announced it yet. But it's already done. Yeah.
But, back to Portland, possibly losing Evander. It's a rebuild. Buddy, welcome to the club.
Yeah. Yep, Ladero to Seattle. Or Orlando, from Seattle. There was another one that I want to talk about. A couple more I want to talk about, actually. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Welcome back.
Zach Steffen and Georgi Mihailovic to Colorado. Colorado's cooking.
So, Kroenke owns what Premier League team?
Arsenal.
Okay. He's starting to spend some money.
Yeah, but it's too late for Colorado. It's too late. I mean, Colorado's been down in the dumps the last 2 years.
Look at Cincinnati.
Yeah, but that's...
Look at Cincinnati.
Yeah, but that's also... When did Cincinnati join the league? 2019?
Yeah.
Colorado's been here since the goddamn beginning.
Still, Colorado still has 1 or 2 cups?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, wait. I think they have one. Honestly. Because I think...
They have, they have 1 or 2.
They have one. They have one.
They have 1, okay.
Yep, they have one. In 2010, they beat FC Dallas.
So 13 years ago.
14.
Well.
But we're still talking.
Yeah, so 13 years ago, right, was their only championship.
Mm-hmm.
In that 13 years, yes, they dropped back. They dropped down to middle to bottom, right? Wasn't really a force, the teams that they had from 2010 and older.
Mm-hmm.
From 96 to 2010, they had teams that were competing, not winning, but competing. For chances to go to the championship or things like that. But 13 years. Kroenke sort of let it, fall to the wayside, right? He's taking some of that Arsenal money now, putting it back in there because I think he sees I think he finally hears the fans' outcry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denver Nuggets. I think he also owns some of that too.
He does. He owns the Nuggets.
So, I mean, they just won a championship last season.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's like, okay, well, Arsenal's doing good over in the Prem right now, right? Which I hate it.
Good for them. They deserve it.
I mean, yeah, but so he's taking money from that, right, and starting to invest it in some of the sports that he owns,
mm-hmm.
right? He sees what he did with Denver, as far as bringing in different players, right? That he could do that with with the Rapids, which it just so happens that, you know, they're always sitting at Columbus's back door saying, hey, you got any more players?
Yeah. So does New England.
You know, I mean, but it's the original teams are sticking together.
Yeah.
I'd rather deal with, you know, some of the original teams than with some of these, you know, other ones that, you know, not going to say that they don't respect the history of MLS, but they don't respect MLS.
Yeah. I think that's all of the recent updates as far as transfers.
And for all you Crew fans out there that say you want Zach Steffen back,
Ain't no way.
if he comes back, it's going to be somewhere, it would be a contract where right around Lucas and Cucho, you know, money and Rossi money.
Not even that. Not even that, because if Colorado is signing him to a non-DP deal, Columbus won't sign him to a DP deal if he ever comes back. There's no way. I think his move to City and him not playing dropped his stock tremendously. I think it just tanked.
All right. Well, not that type of money, but then it would be like Eloy money.
Eloy is still a DP.
Yeah, but Eloy wasn't making that much. Wasn't making, you know, $9. You know, $9. Nine. Was it
$9 a game? Imagine being a professional goalkeeper making $9 a game. You're making, what is that? 9 times 34, 36. Because
200
you're making
300.
200.
No, 300
Yeah.
and
You're making $300+ a season. That's enough to just buy yourself a
Happy Meal.
That's enough to buy yourself like 20 Happy Meals. Golly, making $9 a game.
Nah, he's not making. He's not making like $9 million.
Yeah,
But he was making here with Columbus, I think, like 1.5, 2.
something like that. Yeah,
So he would want a contract like that, where you have a keeper like Schulte, who's still, you know, his contract is low, which allows you to build around, you know, the team. And hell, I'm not getting rid of Schulte because he's proven.
What's your thoughts on this Mo Farsi deal to Dubai?
I don't think, if anything, I see La Liga 1. And I say that because he'd be,
Wait, what? La Liga 1?
yeah.
League 1 or La Liga?
I said La Liga 1 on the tweet.
There's so many goddamn La Liga shits in the freaking.
Oh. I can't find it right now, but
You're talking about the. I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the person who originally broke it. I see. That's the thing.
I could see him going to a French league before, you know, Dubai, because Mo fits more into the French system. And he's going to want to go to where, yes, he wants paid. Don't get it wrong. He wants paid, right? But he fits more in, you know, he wants to go where he fits and where he's going to play. And being in a French league with, you know, he just feels more comfortable.
Here's my thing with the internet, right? And that is, how can I put this without sounding like a complete asshole?
I've already said, you know, restructure his contract because I think Mo is not ready for overseas yet.
Mm-hmm.
maybe in another year or two, but restructure that contract.
Me personally, in my 11 years of being a journalist, over time, I've come to learn to not believe anything unless a very reputable, credible source says something, or until the deal is done.
Until you get that email from communications.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily... I don't want to say I'm discrediting the person, but on the contrary, I do, because
in my opinion, if it's not Bogart or Weeby,
if it's not any of us, if it's nobody from Columbus or Tom Bogart or any other reputable, credible source, I think it's just nonsense. I think it's just
viewer clicks.
Yeah, engagement.
And
You want the engagement. Yeah, because I'm gonna sound like an asshole,
or to be the one that says eventually, 5 years down the road that it happens.
God damn, fucking, I hate that. Man, I'm gonna sound like an asshole, and I don't want to sound like an asshole. I don't want to sound like a dick, or that I'm like, I'm putting myself on a pedestal higher than
this is a safe space.
Person. Yeah, but this is going out to fucking.
So what? Say it.
It's hard to believe somebody that has only 500 followers on Twitter. If that is saying, if I don't know them, right? It's hard to believe that, because one, this person is reporting for MLS in Italy. Again, I'm not one to put myself on a pedestal higher than somebody, but me being in the journalist world for 11 years, I've just become privy to not believing anything.
Unless it's from the reputable, source.
Unless it's from a reputable, credible source, or I'm told directly that, hey, this is going down, or hey, yeah, we have this, but nothing yet. I just can't get behind it. Now, again, I'm not one to say, don't listen to it. But I haven't seen it pick up any traction. I've only seen 2 people bring it up. And I don't know. It's just one of those things, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the whole thing. I mean,
it was like the guy that was talking about Cucho.
Rhino?
Yeah, the one that was sitting there talking about
Crew Rhino.
Oh, was it him that posted somebody over there in overseas that said that this team is looking to sign Cucho and for less than this, and it was some off the wall.
It's Crew Iguana now, because Crew Rhino doesn't run the account anymore. It's Crew Iguana. I'm pretty sure it is. Pretty sure I know what you're talking about. Pretty sure it's Crew Iguana. Whoever that is. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
But I've seen. It's just like the whole with the Steckers thing. I never heard of that guy at all until I read the article. But why? Also, why would Columbus sign a midfielder, Steckers, if they just signed a midfielder?
Yeah.
And I've been told that that's pretty much not going to happen
Yeah. I mean, it was fun while it lasted.
for like a couple days.
Yeah.
Or like a week.
But then,
was it a couple days or a week?
It was about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But we got the Colombian.
I got so scared. I looked down at my laptop and I see the silver. I thought my laptop screen cracked.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, I don't see Farsi leaving.
No.
I don't see. Yeah, I just think I think unless you guys hear from
Massive report or
from
dispatch.
Dispatch, Massive Report, Jerald. Are you still with Bavel?
Yeah.
Okay. Or anybody within Columbus that you guys trust, I wouldn't I wouldn't read too much into it. So, I think that's all of the transfer news that we see.
So far, I mean, the transfer window just opened.
Yeah, I think it was like the other day.
And there's gonna be news coming out. I mean, Columbus could be picking up some. Chef Bez is cooking. I don't know what he's cooking yet, but there's definitely some other things. And Nancy touched on it a little bit. I think going into the playoffs, I think it was where he was like, he was asked about his lineup, and I think he said something about how he wanted to see the team in 1 year, and then that he can judge, who we need to get, and quite frankly, I mean, you really don't need too much.
No, not at all.
I think Will Sands coming back off his injury, he'll become a Swiss Army knife like Sean. And to have two of those type of players on the team, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Chaburko, he started coming along, right there by the playoffs, which is huge. And he's going to be, very helpful for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Steven re-signing the new deal, right?
Yep.
Which, I mean, 2030, I did love that at the parade. He turned to Bez and it's like, yeah.
2030?
And Bez sort of looked like, we'll see.
Yeah.
But, we knew Gressel wasn't going to stay.
Yeah.
That
was a given.
Yeah. But thankful he did. He got his second cup, right? Who else? Camacho.
Rudy?
Yes. Rudy was huge.
Gets his first, yep.
He was huge. That was the last signing Columbus did in that window.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people was like, oh, he's old and, he's not.
Rudy's got some in the tank.
Man, he can fly, though, too.
Yeah.
I saw him go from the back to, up there to the box. Like hold on. Where'd you learn that from, Herrera? But I rewatched the cup, right? And they showed a picture of him and, you got the fireworks going off overhead, right? And you could see him, the tear in his eye. Like he's like he's like, it's unbelievable that, we won.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was in disbelief, but it was like, it was that happy tear. He had a smile on his face, he was, clapping his hands and, but he had that like, I'm not done yet. could this be?
Yeah.
Could this be, my swan song, I went out on top, but he's got more left in that tank. And I called him the mini, Wilfred Nancy 2.0 because he's the one that's on field. He's just Nancy in a player form. And I think that was huge for Columbus. Once he started building that chemistry, you saw like the first couple games that he played, the games were rocky, right?
Yeah.
But once he started building that chemistry and the games, it just started flowing. And goal after, goals were being scored. Clean sheets were being had, being washed with gain by Schulte. Actually, he said his favorite laundry detergent is Tide. So I asked him that, after in the locker room one day. But it just started flowing more on that back line, right? So he's coming back, and it's just going to be like, okay, now he gets a full year with the team.
Yeah.
Imagine how much better it's going to be. And then you got some of the young talent being, developed in Crew 2, right? That's going to come up. This team, this organization, matter of fact, I can't call it an organization. This family, the Crew family, is just unbelievable from the first team all the way down to the academy, which the academy did win an award from MLS this year for the best academy in the country. What's that to say? You have the best team in MLS. Next pro, your next pro team was runner-ups, right? Your UPSL team, which is one of your academy teams, is about to play in the Final Four.
Beginning of February.
In February. Your academy all around won best academy in the country. Out of all, they have like over 300 some academies? Come on now. What's that saying about the whole club, the organization?
Yep.
Is this the fun part? Question time?
Yep. Bailey Major, thoughts on Vasquez to Mexico versus Europe? I think we already touched on that.
I think it's good for Monterrey.
Yeah.
It's huge for them because he'll be available for CONCACAF, even though they're not on the same side as Cincinnati, which it would have been funny to have that.
I think they are.
No,
they're not. Yeah, Cincinnati's on the right, Monterrey's on the left.
Yeah, which I would have loved to have that, but we also got Leagues Cup.
Yep.
So,
Courtney Sullivan says thoughts on potential Mo move. We just touched on that a little bit. What's your take on the so far offseason signings, draft picks? We touched on I think we touched on all of it.
Yeah, the draft signings, the signings and the draft. We touched on last week, but
yeah,
I'm excited for Jaden Daw.
If he wants to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of Duquesne, I think it was. He's a great player, but I also like the fact that I think it's Xavier Zenge's brother.
Yeah.
We got brothers on the team now. Come on now. One's, I think, midfield and one's a defender.
I do think that the players will go back to college though. I don't see them starting right away.
I think Jaden Daw, that was his junior year.
We drafted sophomores. I think one sophomore, two juniors.
Okay. You never know, right?
Yeah.
Zenge, Xavier just signed a new contract with Next Pro with Crew 2. So now you add his brother to the mix. I'm loving it, right? And then I do love the fact that we did sign, the keeper from Guatemala. I think he was from Guatemala.
Nicholas Hagen.
Yeah, Hagen.
We also drafted a goalkeeper.
He's going to be one for Crew 2.
Yeah.
give him a couple years down there, and you might see him, as a backup.
Yeah.
But the Colombian, I love the Colombian guy.
In the Stroza?
Yes. Marino, I love him.
Courtney also says, what do you think about the MLS schedule? Where do you want to go? We touched on the schedule, but we can touch on it again.
I mean, the schedule-wise.
Schedule-wise, I think is a lot.
It is. I think it could be. Schedule-wise, I mean, it is a lot, but did you see the reply?
Yeah.
I think it could have, the schedule, I don't think MLS, when it comes to scheduling, they don't care about some of the other stuff that goes on.
No.
Which it's gonna kill the teams, right? Because you got teams that are gonna lose people to Copa America, right? World Cup friendlies. Not gonna say CONCACAF, but Gold Cup. Nations League. You're losing those players. So you're talking about you're losing stars of teams.
Yeah.
On top of that, which the whole Open Cup thing, right? I love the fact that the USSF, blocked MLS from saying, hey, our first teams aren't going to participate. We're going to let the next pro. I feel that, yes, there is history there with the first teams, but I think if you're a next pro and you're a developmental league, right, you would want a tournament like that to develop, right? The Open Cup would have been great for next pro, right? I think it would have been huge because of the fact that you're letting these players develop by playing in a tournament. They don't have that. They don't have a tournament feel during their season. They start their season in April, like end of March, beginning part of April.
Something like that.
So, I mean, you're already about a month and a half behind, the first team.
Mm-hmm.
Where you could be playing in. The Open Cup starts what, March? February? It's like the first rounds of like the USL teams and everything.
Technically, I think it's December.
Okay, well,
Late December.
You're starting already to where next pro teams could have been playing in it. Now, if a next pro team won, next pro team got to, go to CONCACAF. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Leave that should have been worked out with the USSF, right? Our first teams, they got all these other, tournaments. Let our next pro league take our spot, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So first team would be able to focus on CONCACAF, Leagues Cup, and go from there. Which I get everybody's uproar, the history, the Lamar Hunt, I get that, right? I'm a Crew fan. Lamar Hunt, is Columbus and always will be, right? But when you want to develop a soccer league, playing in a tournament like Open Cup is huge for development because they're playing in it. That's just my take.
Second part, where do you want to go?
Well, I don't want to go to hell without my gasoline draws, but I'm looking at Toronto. in September.
Are you?
Yes.
Got a passport?
I'm working on getting that.
All right, nice.
It's not that far of a drive.
Nah, it's like, what, 6 hours?
It's about the driving from here to Charlotte.
Yeah.
Minnesota, on the other hand, I wanted to go for that. I don't think I'm going to.
I am. I'm going to Minnesota.
Just my funds might not be right.
Understandable. And it's also very quick.
Yeah.
It's very, very quick.
Definitely going to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that's a given. I'm going to try to go to Nashville.
Are you?
I'm going to try to.
Okay.
I mean, that's a quick turnaround as well.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. If Philly isn't a warm month, I will go to Philly again.
I can tell you. I can tell you.
Because I mean, it was an 9-hour drive, but
it was fucking cold.
That it would have been better if the weather was right.
It was so fucking cold. Philadelphia is
June,
October 5th.
Ooh.
Oh no. Wait, hold on. That's home.
Yeah.
Hold on. Philadelphia away? Right? That's what we're looking at. Philadelphia away. I just saw it too.
So Miami comes in October 2nd.
August 24th.
So still some decent weather.
Yeah, that's summer weather.
I do want to go to NYFC.
New York City, you want to go to Yankee Stadium?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. The house that Babe Ruth built in George Steinbrenner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about Red Bulls.
Harrison, yeah.
Yeah. I've thought about it, but I thought about Charlotte too, but that's still a quick turnaround.
Charlotte. Oh, wait. Red Bulls away?
Yeah.
Red Bulls away is the last game of the season.
It's pretty feasible for
October
me.
19th.
No, but I'm looking at some of that. But I would love to go to Geodis Park.
Yeah.
So if I can't get to Minnesota, eventually I will. I might make it to Geodis Park.
For me, I'm looking at Minnesota. That's actually already starting to be finalized. I'm looking at Charlotte. I don't think I can get to Nashville. I think funds is just out the picture there. I could, however, book it to Salt Lake instead of Nashville. April 13th.
Oh, we go out to Salt Lake. I thought.
We go out to Salt Lake. Chicago.
Yeah, that's a given.
LA. I'm going to LA. Hands down. Amtrak runs out there. I'm going. I love it. Atlanta.
Yes, I forgot about Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah, that's a given. And then my last one is probably have to be Cincinnati's a given, obviously.
Yeah.
I think would have to be Philadelphia. Also.
Cheesesteak run?
Oh, dude. Fucking, I love that.
We gotta find another place to get cheesesteak other than that.
Other than that place.
We were told that,
that's the tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I just gotta figure out where to go. But Minnesota is a definite for me. I just gotta finalize some things. By the way, crew fans who want to travel that don't want to spend a plane ticket, or see, for me, I'm catching as many Amtraks as I can. Right, I'm catching Amtrak to Minneapolis. I'm thinking of catching one to Charlotte.
There's one that goes to Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to go to Chicago to get to it. Oh no, wait, hold on. I think you can actually get it from
Cleveland.
From Cleveland. Yeah. From Cleveland, Ohio to Charlotte, North Carolina. When's the game? March 23rd.
Yeah.
So, for example, we'll just do the 21st? Leave on the 21st or 22nd?
21st.
21st, just to make sure you get there on time. Leave the 26th? That sounds feasible. 5 days.
Go for you.
Yeah, for me. Can you get it from Cleveland? You can. Yeah, you can get. It's 2 trains. It's about 24 hours. Leave at 1:54. Let's see. Capital Limited. Yep, and then the 19 Crescent. It's about 8 hours. So you get 11 hours on the Capital Limited. Transfer in Washington, D.C.
My fault.
My lordy. Transfer in D.C., get on the 19 Crescent. That's about 8 hours from D.C. to Charlotte. But I swear by Amtrak for travel. I swear. I did it twice going to the Pacific Northwest. Once in 2018 against Portland. Once in 2020 against Seattle before the world shut down. I'm doing it when crew go to LA, and it's about 46, 48 hours, but it's probably the best 2 days you will ever spend. Probably the best 2 days.
And if you don't want to take a train, you can always hit me up and, carpool.
To LA?
Nah, I'm not going to
LA. I was about to say, carpool to LA? Golly, you're taking 3. I'm going to get there before you, even if we live at the same time. Golly.
No, but for you want to go to Charlotte, Philly, Nashville, things like that. If, you can always hit me up to carpool.
Throwing gas and food.
That's all I require, gas and food.
But no, crew fans that want a new method of traveling, I swear by Amtrak.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Hell, even if someone wants to go to LA and catch an Amtrak and split a roomette with me, we'll talk about that too. But it's so fun. I love it. I love not being able to having to be on this thing forever and have people text me and shit. But yeah. Courtney also says, is Bigfoot real or fake, and why? Well, yeah, I was about to say. I wear size 13.
I'm 13 triple E. So
Bigfoot's real.
Yeah, Bigfoot's real.
Andrew Johnson, how many chicken nuggets are too many in an order?
You're the chicken nugget expert.
Me? It says who?
Can I get the family size chicken nugget order? We went out to Chicago and you got like 2 or 3 10-piece nuggets and.
Oh, dude, I was fucking starving. I was hungry as shit. Do we really need a 20-piece? I mean, did we really need a 50-piece back in the day, like years ago?
I mean, that was date night. Split a 50-piece and two drinks and a fry.
Who starts as left back opening game? We don't have a left back.
Ooh.
We have a left wing back, but not a left back. Yaboa.
Yeah.
Why does Aiden wear such tight shorts? I think all players wear the same shorts.
So for the person that asked that question, I was told by him, I guess he had the conversation with his dad before, with Aiden's dad, and Aiden's dad said he's always worn tight shorts like that. Even tighter. I think players wear tight shorts it gives them that dynamic edge when it comes to like running, right? You don't have body flapping around as you're running, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like swimmers. Swimmers will shave all the hair on their body to give them an edge in the water. You know, they'll go sit there and dive into a wax bath, to get all the hair off their whole entire body. So, I mean, I think it just gives gives players a better edge wearing tight shorts.
That's it. That's all I see so far.
I got one.
I was about to say, do you have anything else you want to add?
Buckeyed DiNapoli.
Joey!
Is hot chocolate a soup?
Yes. Yes.
So they called chili a soup. Is that a soup?
Yes.
Why?
Why not? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
There you go. Is water wet?
No.
Smart, man. Smart man. Water is not wet. You are correct. Water is not wet.
I mean, that's all I see there. Shouts out to Joanne for taking my $9 a game and making it Canadian money.
72 cents. Tell me about your 72 cents.
Oh.
From Cincy.
I thought it was that one.
No. Talking about where you're
where
you're going in transfer fee.
Yeah, look at me. I'm out of shape.
I'm going to fucking Cincinnati for $1.
You get 28 cents more than me. You could buy a Skyline hot dog down there.
I ain't buying nothing at Skyline. Fuck you talking about? Golly.
Then you can use some Tide Pods to get the shit stains out.
Yeah. Anything else?
Preseason is going to be starting here soon.
Yeah.
So we're going to be busy.
Yeah, man. We are.
Folks, get your questions in so that way when we do announce when preseason, when we have the talks with, Chef Bez and Coach Nancy and everybody, we can have, get some of your questions answered by the players and staff. Looking to see who takes over Kristen Burkett's role.
Oh.
Kristen, the one that left.
Burnett.
Burnett.
Yeah.
Looking to see who takes over that role. I'm just.
Is it Kristen? Is it Burner? Or?
It was something like that.
Yeah.
I do know. I do think she had some type of stake with NYC Gotham.
Yeah.
So and with them winning last year,
New York, New Jersey, Gotham. Yep. I mean, anything else you want to add? That's pretty much all we had today. Is just a couple transfer talks and
just stay on the lookout. For next episode where there might be more transfers. Chef Bez might come out with an immaculate dish to quench our palates with. And let's get ready to run it back.
I think that's it. Be sure to check the tweets, the Twitter for any other news and updates. We're thinking about writing some articles for our podcast. I honestly consider making a Substack for the podcast.
Let's go for it.
So we can,
yeah,
kind of link our podcast on there and get articles out. So that way we're kind of in just one area
Do we want to do it this year to where if you want to be a guest on the show? Just inviting fans to the show. To be like a guest co-host.
What do you mean, though?
Like how, if you one of our fans wants to come on the show for an episode.
I don't mind that. How we go from Substack to talking about that?
I mean, it's just something, that the show, might want to do. You're good with Substack, so
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all.
So I know the Substack will get us out there more. Spread the fan love.
Yeah. Thought about making a Substack for the show so we can write. I think that'd be better for you, honestly. Because
yeah,
I got a new phone. I have not been able to log into WhatsApp at all. Be sure to buy some merchandise. Still got that up and running. Might look at that. Add a few items also for the season. And yeah, be sure to follow us on social media at the Wisemen Pod. We are on Instagram. Could not get on TikTok at all, bro.
Why?
I don't fucking know, bro. But we are on Instagram as it's so weird. We are on Instagram as the Wisemen Say Podcast. Tried to get on TikTok, just couldn't do it. I don't know why. But yeah, there we'll be posting, behind the scenes content, reels that we make, and yeah.
Hey, because we do have some halftime shenanigans.
Yeah, for sure. But no, we just want to grow a little bit more, and I think this upcoming season is the best way to start.
Yeah.
Other than that, again, you can follow me on social media at FisherTyler __.
614 Bucknuts with the Z.
And obviously the podcast at Wisemen Pod on Twitter and at the Wisemen Say Podcast on Instagram. This is the Wisemen Say Podcast powered by Yama Media. Ty Fisher alongside Jerald Lucas. My friend, as tradition goes, Wisemen Say.
Only fools rush in.
Peace out, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
Stay wise, y'all.